in a little bit is the the debate about working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, that was clearly triggered by the pandemic, but it was stuff that was happening before the pandemic. A lot of this stuff, with our current perspective, we say, oh, everything kind of unraveled when we were locked down, but things were unraveling in that sense long before that. And I think part of what seems to have happened is that we have lost our sense of the preciousness of real space. So if there's an expediency to using an electronically mediated kind of environment, then there's strong temptations to do that. And it's completely understandable. If I'm a harried commuter and I'm living in the suburbs of a city like Toronto and I have to get into the core, it's awful. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and I have to look up this is a little bit of a tangent, but this finding that showed that the stress levels of an urban commuter are about on par with the stress levels of a fighter pilot. And so if you can avoid that, then of course you're going to. And the understanding what's lost by doing that is a little bit more subtle. But I think that, we're beginning to see certain things winding down. What else do I want to say about this huge question? I mean, there's some really strange stuff that I think some people have measured that happens to us when we live too much of our lives on Zoom meetings or whatever. There's a paper that intrigued me about the emergence of something called depersonalization disorder that is measurably increased in people who spend the longest amount of time in screen mediated environments rather than in real life. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So what do you do about all of that? I mean, I'm just to blow my horn for a second about this. I think it's next week. I'm giving a talk at South by Southwest with an architecture firm called Populous in Kansas, and our theme is that we need these places of real encounter. And Populous, I think, builds entertainment venues right up to stadium-sized things. And so, I mean, they have a clear mandate to find ways to bring people together. And so I want to talk about the importance of our finding ways to do that. But how do you, I can't remember the words that you used, but it's got to be some kind of, we've got to work out some kind of hybrid solution.
Completely, yeah. I agree.
The technological stuff is not going to go away.
Yeah.
But understanding its limitations and understanding the losses is really super important. And I feel like, that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, is because I just feel as though in the general everyday way, we don't really appreciate the impact that real spaces have on how we feel, what we do.
Yeah.
A lot of it just happens in the background. You're not particularly aware of it. If you look at, there's a, I won't say too much about this, but there's a small company based in the UK that I'm involved in. It's planners, some visualization specialists, and some other people. And I'm, I guess, the token scientist. And the single point that is hardest to make to that group of people, and I don't think this is uncommon, is that it's not all about what you attend to and what you're conscious of. Most of it, I think, is about the stuff that's happening in the background, in your periphery, stuff that makes for atmosphere in a setting.
Sure.
That is not what you're looking at. It's out here somewhere, but it's really important.
I totally agree. If I could actually